What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics that you send through to me on Twitter. And yeah, it's been eventful. Obviously, the season's done. Silly season has commenced. United getting linked with pretty much everyone. So, boy, let's just get into it because yeah, we got some good questions this week. First one from Jonathan Goodwin says, "How delusional is the fan base as a whole? It took Klopp 18 months to get the Deadwood out and play good football. It seems like people think Ollie will do it in one summer. This seems like a 2-year job minimum to even get us close to competing again." I agree 100%, and I did say that I'd give Ollie two winter windows before I start judging him by saying, yo, this is his team. One thing I'd say about Klopp though, you could see what he was doing straight away. Like, even though the points and that didn't reflect it, because you saw, like, numbers wise it was pretty similar to Brendan Rodgers, but the style of football was different. You could see like what they were working on in training, and with Ollie I can't see that, if I'm honest. LVG is the only manager that we've had so far that I could look at the Manchester United team and say, you know what, I could tell these men have been working on X, Y or Z in training, because it's showing on the pitch. Like, our possession under LVG was different gravy, that we controlled games and we played on the front foot. Like, I haven't seen that since. You know what I mean? And LVG recently came out and said that Ollie's football ain't much different to Maureen's, bro. And the way I'm looking at it right now, it kind of isn't. The only difference is, at the beginning when Ollie came in, we were taking chances and we were more clinical, but actually we still weren't playing on the front foot. Like, the possession wasn't great. We weren't keeping the ball well. We were just hitting people on the break and killing them. So I think it's definitely a 2-year job. I did say also that what I would take next season was a comfortable top 4 finish. To me, that's progress. Then the season after, we're looking to, once we've got top 4 and we've got Champions League, then we can bring in a higher level of player, higher caliber of player, and then the season after that we can think about challenging. So I'm with you. I think that we're looking at a 3-season job. Anyone that thinks that we're just gonna have one window and then just be challenging for the league, you man are crazy. We're not gonna sign 7-8 man, and even if we did, they would still need time to kind of get used to playing together, etc., etc. So don't expect miracles. That was a very good comment, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think that he deserves that much time? Depending on how the transfer window goes, do you think that there should be more pressure on him? Let me know what you think. Next one is at Reela Maxi Reela. It says, would you bring Zaha back? And do you think Ollie is a bit sentimental? All English, just keep getting chances despite being shit, unlike other players. I agree. I think so. That's my reservation with Ollie. One of my biggest reservations is that the likes of the Joneses, the Youngs, just keep getting chances, bruv. Keep getting chances. Rashford as well, and Lingard. These men have all been poor, and they keep getting chances, man. And a lot of the other players are being made the scapegoat, the foreign players. That's from the fans, that's from the media, and also from Ollie to a certain extent. And remember when people were talking about director of football and I said categorically I didn't want Mick Phelan? This is why, innit? I said I don't want no pie and mash football at Old Trafford, blood. And I feel like Ollie's got a very English mentality when it comes to the passion, and do you know what I mean? And him wanting the English core and liking these English players, brother. Maybe that's because he would have done his badges here and he come up under Sir Alex Ferguson and that. But all that sentimental bullshit needs to go out the window, bruv, because our English players are our worst players. I've said it before, so I think Ollie needs to cut that shit out, bruv, to be completely honest. Guys, what do you feel about the English bias? Because it's definitely there. I don't think anyone can deny that it's there, and I think personally that it's counterproductive. Do you feel that there's a big split in the United fan bases? At Mike Free Big Mike again. There's definitely a big split, but it always has been. There always has been a split in the United fan base, and that's why I always banter, yeah, and I say, yeah, like Brexit United, Twitter hate me and that, because you've got the very staunch, United is a religion, you can't say nothing bad about the club, this, that and the other, like the very old-fashioned fans, Can't stand them, bruv. Like, I can't, because they haven't moved with the times. They haven't moved with the times, and we have very different views on what the club is, what the club should be, and also why we support the club. You know what I mean? I support the club because my uncle supported the club. I was raised to support the club, and I love the club for what it embodied to me. A lot of people support the club blindly, almost like a religion. When you ask religious people from certain religions, like, why they're religious, is because their family were religious. And then you ask them certain questions, they can't answer it. But they're like, oh, well, I can't answer that question, but just believe, bro. I'm not the kind of person that just blindly believes in anything. I need proof, innit? And I've seen enough proof that Manchester United just ain't doing what it used to do. It don't stand for what it used to stand for, etc., etc. And I'm not going to sit by and just be okay with that, bro. And just be like, oh, don't say nothing negative about it because it means you're not a real fan. Nah, real fans care. And when people care about things, they critique things, they comment on things because they want things to change, innit? The fans that feel like not saying anything negative is just gonna bring change, I don't know what the fuck you're dreaming of, to be honest. So there's a big split in terms of how the club supported. There's certain fans that think if you're not a match going fan, then your opinion's not valid. If you're a foreign fan, your opinion's not valid. If you're not from Manchester, your opinion's not valid. There's too many different splits in the fan base, and then you've got people that are split over certain players, like the Pogba situation, the Martial situation, the Luke Shaw situation. There's loads of different divisions. So the fan base has never been more split, and I think that only goes down to the fact that the club aren't doing well. So people are just misplacing their dissatisfaction, really. So there's definitely a massive split. I think it's there for all to see. I don't think anyone could disagree with that. There's several reasons why it's there, but ultimately that split is there because we're shit, bruv. Because if we are winning and we are playing well, no one would be arguing. Let me know what you think regarding that, guys. Next one, Reese Gibson. It says Anthony Martial, laughing emoji, hashtag Rants Red Talk. That speaks for itself, innit? Obviously, I've been going off about Anthony Martial because actually he's been getting some very unfair criticism by fans, the media, everything like that. Everyone's chatting shit about Martial, like, oh yeah, Martial shit. Martial ain't done nothing, this, that, and the other. Goals against top six. Martial's got 5 in 7. He bagged 2 at Stamford Bridge. Lingard has 3 in 8. Rashford has 1 in 11. Lukaku has none in 11. But man are onto Martial, yeah. But you don't want Rashford to lead the line, and he's got 1 goal in 11 against top 6 sides, bruv. He's trash, bruv. That's it, innit? And the thing is, Martial gets a lot of stick, yeah, but he don't get judged the same as other players. Martial's a number 9. We bought him as a number 9 with the number 9 shirt. Mourinho came in, took his number 9 shirt away from him, stuck him out on the left wing, and we haven't seen the best of him ever since, really. He had a good spell under Mourinho that kept him in a job where he played down the middle. Remember the West Ham away game? He blamed Martial, saying Martial don't like defending. And then since then, he played him centrally and Martial was bagging goals. Martial's a centre forward. But because he doesn't run around like fucking Rashford into cul-de-sacs, man are saying he's lazy. He's not lazy. He's an economical runner. And I tweeted something and it went viral. Was it yesterday or the day before? Something about Rio Ferdinand said, when you run intelligently, you will run less, bruv. You know what I mean? Rashford just runs for running's sake, and it doesn't translate into goals. So what does it matter? Sanchez runs for running's sake, doesn't translate into goals. Man's got 3 goals in his whole United career. Who gives a fuck? So what's all that running doing for you? And Anthony Martial has not been judged fairly because actually when he's played up front, and also his goal per 90-minute ratio is as good as any player at the club since he signed. And also, since he signed, he's the top scorer at the club. So all of these stats tend to say that this guy's a baller. So when man think that he's not a baller, it either tells me that you're judging him unfairly or you just don't know about football. You don't know shit about football, one or the other. I see man comparing his work rate to Sane and Sterling, and these men are wingers, bro. They're not strikers. They're not strikers. He's a 9. You know what I'm saying? The man are not looking at Harry Kane, yeah, and saying, oh yeah, like he doesn't cover enough ground. He's a 9. 9s move differently. They move more economical. Martial wants it to feet so he can give and goes and then get in behind. Martial doesn't just, as soon as someone gets the ball, try and run straight in behind. He likes to get involved and get on the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. Firmino's the same. He likes to come deep, get on the ball and that. They're technical players. Not every player that leads the line just wants to run in behind, bruv. So it's ignorant. Even Harry Kane comes short and he likes to link up, bounce the ball off and then make runs. He doesn't always just wait on the shoulder and try to run in a straight line, bruv. Those are one-dimensional number 9 centre forwards. Like, there's not very many of them in the game anymore. So I think man are judging him unfairly, and also they just don't understand what they're watching. Let me know how you feel. It's very split. Certain men feel like if you're Team Rashford, you can't be Team Martial, and that's bullshit. They're both our players, innit? But the bottom line is, Martial's better than man. Like, I don't even know how you could debate that. Like, when you break down players, like attribute for attribute, the only thing that Rashford has, yeah, that Martial don't have is that blistering pace. And Martial's quick, but Rashford is rapid. Other than that, technically, Martial dribbles better, shoots better, passes better, does everything better. Like, a head's better. Like, I just don't even know, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Next one, at Michelle Gilbert 08. Thoughts on Bale. Alright, bruv, where do I start when you're saying thoughts on Bale? If you mean thoughts on us getting Gareth Bale in, I'm torn in it. I don't want to pay no money for Gareth Bale, and I don't want to pay his wages. But if you said to me that Real Madrid are going to give you Gareth Bale on loan, yeah, they're going to pay half his wages, I'll take him. Because that just means that we don't have to spend no peas and it doesn't fuck with our wage structure. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't spend money on Gareth Bale, yeah, who's not guaranteed to be fit, and then be paying him Alexis Sanchez wages, because then I think that's fucking, it's ridiculous. It's like getting rid of Sanchez and then bringing him back in, because we don't even know if Gareth Bale is going to be fit, bruv. Like, we don't know. Like, the jury's out on him. You can't stay fit in Spain in a league that's less combative as this league, less intense. Then I don't really trust your fitness in this league. So as much as I'd love to say we need to stay as far away from Gareth Bale, that is the ilk of player that we need to be looking at, just maybe without the injury records and without that age, innit? So I think only under special circumstances do we sign a Gareth Bale, and that's if we can get man on loan and Real Madrid pay his wages. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. At Lee Van, and then bare numbers, bruv. I don't know how you man got all these numbers in your Twitter name. Is the clear out of Deadwood now more critical, important than who we buy? I understand the balance, but Solskjaer's gonna fall with the same shit. Absolutely. Absolutely, bruv. I think who we get rid of is just as important. I think getting rid of shit players means that they're not an option. While these men are an option, they're still gonna play, innit? And there's too many dead men that you just don't want to be an option. So I believe that getting rid of players is just as much a statement of intent as the man that we keep. Like, as I said, if Ashley Young's starting at right back next season, it don't matter who we sign, the statement is already made, yeah, that Ollie's a waste man, bro. Now, if we're starting with Ashley Young at right back next season, I'll be the first one to say Ollie out, because we've got more than enough time to replace, man. So even if we were to bring in like Griezmann, all these other men, if Ashley Young's still right back, like, bruv, I've made my mind up about him. Do you know what I mean? I've made my mind up about Ollie. So I do think that as a statement of intent, I think the man that you get rid of are just as important, guys. Out of the guys that we need to get rid of, leave me a list, guys, of man that you think we have to get rid of if we're being serious in it, if we're making a proper statement. For me, it's not going to happen, but I would definitely get rid of Phil Jones. Darmian will go. I'd get rid of Sanchez and Lukaku. I'd get rid of them both. Let me know who your guys are. At, what's that? NYNFC7. It says, Yusuf, do you think Ollie is implementing a new style of play after United being linked with players like João Felix? United don't usually do well with mercurial creative number 10s like Kagawa, Mata, and Mkhitaryan. That's a sick question, bro. That's a very sick question. I completely agree with you. They don't. They really don't do well with that. I don't know what Ollie's thinking, bruv. I don't know if Ollie's signing him because he's good and he's young. Is Ollie going to use him in the right position? Like, because for me, if you bring in a João Felix, that tells me that you're letting Paul Pogba go because you're gonna make Felix the creative brain, and maybe Felix is the replacement for Pogba, maybe. And then what you do is you just give him the creative freedom, and then you bring in 2 solid midfielders. I'm behind that because if we lose Pogba, we need a creator, like a sole creator that just creates. Felix is looking all like Kaka, yeah, but just a bit more like silky. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's implementing a new style of play because, as I said, like the jury's still out on Oli in terms of style of football because I haven't seen anything from his United teams that remotely excite me, bruv. We don't keep the ball like a City or a Liverpool. We don't move it around. It seems like we're very reactionary. We kind of keep it tight, win the ball, and then we just try a thing. Like there's no form, there's no formula, there's no formation, there's no pattern, there's no nothing. So in terms of the coaching side, I don't really know what man does. I don't know if he just talks to man, gasses them up, gives them hugs, and then tells them to go and play football. Because on the technical side, I ain't seen nothing from Oli to tell me that he's trying to bring in a certain style. Like the football is very much the same, just a bit higher intensity, just without the walking around. But as we've seen, these men have kind of burnt themselves out, and then we ended up dying at the end of the season anyway. So yeah, let me know what you think about this Mercurial number 10. Do you think that Ollie's trying a thing, or I don't know, guys? Yeah, let me know. Very interesting question. Last couple, and then also I'm gonna go over to the Instagram to do the IGTV. I got a couple questions for you guys on there as well. So yeah, if you haven't followed the Instagram, make sure you jump on the Instagram at Rants and Bants. It's verified. You'll see me there now. Very happy about that. At Notorious Abs, I know your stance on Jose, but with hindsight, do you still believe he was the problem at the club? Because before he came United, he was successful everywhere and had a proven criteria and approach. I'm not saying I want him back, but my worry is Jose couldn't deliver what makes us think Oli will. My thing is, yeah, Jose's man management style meant he was never going to be successful at United. And he wasn't successful at Chelsea either. Let's not forget that. Like, he done it for one season, yeah, in a team, yeah, in a team that, like, they were pretty much primed to win something. That's it. The thing is with Jose is very good at quick fixes, papering over cracks, doing a quick thing. That's what he's good at. He's never built anything in his life. The first Chelsea team he inherited was built by Claudio Ranieri, and then he brought in a few man. He's not a creator, bruv. He's not. He's a quick fix merchant, bruv. Patch Adams. That's what I call man. So United was a rebuild job. It was a complete knockdown and start from the beginning. The first things he should have done when he came in was he should have replaced Valencia. He should have replaced Ashley Young. These men shouldn't have been the fullbacks. But he wasn't thinking long term. He was thinking short term. How can I win a trophy as soon as possible? Whereas you look at what Klopp done. Klopp come in and said, but these men ain't good enough. I'm going to systematically replace everyone from back to front. Same thing Pep did. He came in and he brought 3 fullbacks because he said, you know what? The fullbacks I have are dead, bruv. Now I'm saying that Jose had enough time to do that. He didn't do that. That's on him. I'm not trying to hear no one else built. He came in with the wrong game plan, the wrong attitude, because he was never fitting to do the job that he was brought in for. And that's poor recruitment from the board. So he would have never been successful. The only way he would have ever been successful at this club is if they said blank checkbook, buy whoever the fuck you want. And he would have just bought 8-9 man. And then he would have tried a thing. And even then he would have bought older players with no resale value. And then when he did leave in 3 years, we would have had to rebuild all over again. He's a shambolic manager when it comes to planning. And everywhere else that he's been, you can vouch for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's left us in a worse position than he inherited the club. And that would have been very, very hard. Because now we've got Sanchez on big wages, Lukaku on big wages, Matic is old. Who else have we got? Well, Pogba's leaving anyway, but that's not really his fault because, bruv, he brought in Pogba and it hasn't worked out because he didn't build a team worthy of even making Pogba stay. You got Dalot, who's one for the future, but defensively he's not great. I don't know if he's got a long-term future at the club because if we do get Wan-Bissaka, I feel like Dalot's either going to have to play right wing or he ain't playing right back, bruv, because Wan-Bissaka will be the right back going forward. Dalot will end up being a squad player. Yeah, Zlatan came in, that was a short-term quick fix. Mkhitaryan was a shit signing. Like, when you look at his signings, most of them are bugged out. Like Fred, you know what I mean? I think he's a good player, but if someone said to me he won't be at United in 2 years, I wouldn't argue. So when you have to look at his recruitment in general, it's been absolutely shambolic. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. And the last one on YouTube, the last one we've got from Stevie Russell. How do we remove the chip on Rashford's shoulder? I don't really know if he's got a chip, bro. Like, I just honestly think that Rashford thinks he's better than he is because Ollie's come in and gassed him up and said, you're my guy, Marcus. I love you. You're going to play no matter what. Injured, whatever. Just keep playing Rashford. The worst thing you could have done. Like, he's 21, going to be 22 years old this year. Number 10 shirt. Been given all sorts of assurances from the manager. Wants big money now. And he's done fuck all in the game, bruv. You do not give a 21-year-old that's done nothing in football the number 10 shirt, bruv. What has he done to deserve that? What has he done? I just don't know. This is the issue. Like, this monster's been created by Ed Woodward and Ollie Solskjaer, bruv. And now, people talking about Pogba's attitude and Martial's attitude and these things, bruv. Rashford's attitude stinks, bruv. Like, man, sulking on the pitch. He's not played well for 4 months. There's talks of him demanding more money and that, and saying, oh, he wants to hold off on signing a deal to see this, that, and the other. He's moving like he's Wayne Rooney, but Wayne Rooney, when he was talking about going somewhere else, had won a Champions League and won Premier League titles and all that. Rashford ain't done shit, bruv. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So when I think about all of that, it makes my head hot, bruv. It really does make my head hot. So when you say chip on the shoulder, I'm not quite sure what you mean about that. But if you're speaking about his attitude in general, I just think that he needs an attitude adjustment. He needs a reality check, bruv. He needs to hold bench for a while. We either need to start Martial up front, which I think we should, or we need to bring in a striker that will start and make him earn his place in the team, bruv, because he's simply not fucking good enough. Okay, let me know what you think about that, guys, in the comment section. Also, got another couple questions to do with our transfers. And yeah, our transfers and the Rashford contract situation. I'm going to bring that over to IGTV. So make sure you go follow that there. Make sure you smash the like button. Thanks for all your questions. Again, hundreds of questions in a very short space of time. Loving interaction. It's your show. We're going to keep this coming. And then the more transfers, etc., we get in, there'll just be more content for you. We're going to keep it going all through the summer. Make sure you add me up on Twitter as well. It's at Rants and Bants, guys. And I'll see you on IGTV. It's been emotional.